it wouldn't be one of my videos without a fabric haul. So I get a lot of my fabric when I thrift, either from Make and Mend in Somerville, Massachusetts, which is a thrift craft store, so they have like everything for crafting, or I go to Savers in Norwood. That location, that Savers location, has fabric like in bags, like they have actual cotton fabrics. So this is the first one I got. It's like this green patchwork quilt. Obsessed. I got this for like $3 and there's probably 2 yards of it, at least a yard and a half. And it was like $3 and it's just cotton fabric. One of my friends wants a custom sleeve out of this, so I'm going to make that for them. I then thrifted a ton of plain white cotton. Like this is probably 3-4 yards. Also, this I think was like $6, which is still really cheap compared to like if you got it new at a fabric store. But I grabbed that because I always need more solid white for my inner linings. I then found this. I think this would be super cute as a makeup pouch. It's another floral. It's like pink with pastel blues. But as you can see, it's like an actual like off the bolt fabric. Then a solid pastel pink. Obsessed. And then I got this other floral. It's like a pinky, it's like a salmony color. And then I thrifted a hand towel because I want to try making makeup baskets like this. I'll put a photo here. And I want to use terry cloth for the inside. So I figured instead of ordering like yards of terry cloth I think I'm going to order it from Etsy. I just was like, let me grab a dish towel and I'll like use it for myself, to make one for myself to see if I like it and all that kind of stuff before I spend money on yards of fabric. And this I think was also like, yeah, this was $1.49 and it's like a cute pink color. So there's that. And then onto like the pillowcases. So sometimes I'll thrift like pillowcases or sheets and like cut off the hems and use that for fabric, because that's a good way to get like good like quality like soft fabric that's cheap. So this was $1.49 and it's just this blue and white stripes, but the blue has like some kind of like texture to it. So there's that. Then I got this plain yellow. I thought this was so pretty. It's just like a plain, it's a little bit like darker in person. The camera's not really picking it up very well. And then again, more florals. These are two pillowcases. Yeah, 2 pillowcases for $1.99, and they're like big ones. They're probably like queen size ones, like they're pretty big. And it's just this green floral print. So I think this will make a gorgeous set. So I'm thinking of making this into like, if I end up doing makeup baskets, like the photo I showed, I'll make one out of this and then make a matching makeup bag and then like a matching, I don't know, like wristlet. Like I'll make matching sets. That's something I really want to bring to my shop, but it is something that's hard to do now that Joann's going out of business, because again, a lot of my fabric is from there. And also because when I thrift fabric, it's like I don't get a lot of it. So it's hard to like, and you don't know where it's from or if you'll be able to get more. So it's hard to be able to consistently bring something to my shop, if that makes sense. And then lastly, I got this cotton fabric, which is like this like dark blue with these like these tulips. So pretty. This was also like $3 and it's probably a yard and a half. I'd have to see if I can find the brand, but that is all the fabric that I thrifted the other day. And if you don't thrift fabric, you need to start. So I think what I'm going to do first is get to working on these wristlets and doing the stitching. Real quick, I'm going to show you the patterns that I have. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear the fan in the background. It's dying. Like I'm sweating in my office. It gets really warm in here because we don't have like an AC unit in here. So if you can hear that, I'm so sorry. But first up, we have this like, I don't even know what to call this, but this is, I think, so pretty. So I have a few of those. Again, I think this was like thrifted fabric in a set, like in a bundle. So I only was able to make, I might have some scraps of it. I don't know. I have my fiance cutting fabric for me because I'm really trying to like market prep really hard. So I have 3 of them, but I might be out of this fabric now and I don't know if I'll ever have it again. But obsessed with these. Then I have these black strawberries, if it'll focus, which I think are so cute. It's just black with strawberries. And I don't really bring like dark designs to my shop, so like most of my fabric, like in my fabric stash, is all like pinks and pastels and white. So this is like the only one. Let me show you. This is what that one looks like all finished. So I do use white thread for it. Is it gonna focus? I don't think it's gonna focus. Anyway, so, you know, this is what they look like on, by the way, but this is like, that's what that one looks like on, and what it looks like with the hardware, and it has white thread, which honestly I think is pretty cute, but I use white thread for all of my makes and everything that I sew, so I literally, like, I buy pre-wound white bobbins, I buy like only, I do have other colored thread if I do work on like other projects, but I do usually only use white thread, which I actually have to order some more because I'm about to be out. If you can see in my Singer Heavy Duty, I'm about to be out of my white spool and I only have one more. And again, like that's the only color I use and I use it to make everything. Okay, I feel like I'm yapping. So I have this picnic. This one is my favorite. This is a Joanne fabric. I got it on sale. So it was one of their last chance fabrics that was like 60% off per yard. So I think I got 3 yards of it. I think I have more. I don't think I used all of it. I don't think my fiance cut all of it, but right now I have 4 of these. And again, this will have white stitching and it's just so pretty. Obsessed with this. I think it's so summery. I'm really trying to like, you know, it's turning into spring. I'm so excited for like launching springy stuff, but I'm so excited for summer stuff. I feel like that picnic one and this blue one is so summery. But anyways, and then I have this green floral. You're gonna see a lot of florals from me. Why is this not focusing? There we go. I work with florals the most. They're just my favorite. Then I have this green, another floral. It's just like a kind of like gingham with flowers. And then I have that same thing. I have so many of these. I have that same thing, but with like a peachy color. I have quite a few of those, and then these are my favorite. I believe this is a Hobby Lobby fabric. This, obsessed. It is a pastel pink with some strawberries. And there's like full strawberries, there's half strawberries, and I have 2 of those. I have some already made, but I only have 2 that I'm making with interfacing because I think I'm out of this fabric. But if I'm lucky, I think it's from Hobby Lobby, so I can get more because I'm dying to make matching keychain wallets of this fabric to go with the wristlets because I think they're so cute. And then the ones that I don't have prepped yet, I have these sewing machine ones that have like a bunch of like notions and sewing supplies. I then have this like, I got this from this fabric from a local fabric store. It's like kind of like a painted on fabric. I don't know how to explain it. It looks like it's painted. Then I have that same gingham with flowers, but in this like deep blue. And then I have a ton of these quilt patchwork, like kind of like not neutral, but like grays and blues. So that is all of the keychain wristlets, or just the wristlets, not keychain, but just the wristlets that I have to sew. So let's get sewing. So this is the whole pile of wristlets I have. There's 2 sides and then 2 sides. And then these bookmarks I prepped. So these need to be ironed still. These are ready for sewing. These were just ironed, but they need to be, the interfacing needs to be cut and then they'll be ready for sewing. So I've been working for like the last hour and I will say I've gotten a fair amount done. And now I'm going to go ahead and iron the wristlets. So I just showered and took a little break from what I was doing in the last clip, and I then sat on my living room floor and cut out all the excess interfacing off the wristlets and the bookmarks, and then I clipped them all together, like each pattern together, so that they stay together and they don't mix, and it's easy to just grab all of them out. So then, like, this is like the wristlets. So now I'm going to go ahead and iron the wristlets and fold them so I can stitch them. So I am currently ironing a bunch of wristlets to the interfacing. Let me go grab one. So for the first round of wristlets that I didn't use interfacing, so this is what they look like. I'm very happy with them, and I think they're coming out super cute, but I didn't use interfacing, so they're a little thin, like they're not as like stiff as I want them. So for this next batch, I'm adding some medium weight interfacing to the back. This is one of the patterns I'll be using, like this black with strawberries. But I'm adding some interfacing so it's a little bit stiffer and feels like nicer and more professional, I guess. But I'm still gonna sell these, but I'm just gonna kind of change it up a little bit because this was my first time making them. So I have a ton of wristlets prepared. They are ready for stitching. They've just been ironed and folded, so I just need to stitch them, which is just 2 stitches down, and then fold them in half and put on the hardware, which I had to order more hardware from Amazon because I'm gonna run out with how many wristlets I'm making for this market that I have in 2 weeks. It's a 2-day market, so I'm trying to bring like a lot of stock. I also really want to stock up my online store and try to launch that. So the wristlets actually took me a little bit longer than they did the first time around when I first made the ones that I just showed you. Because the first round I made, I think I mentioned in this video in an earlier clip that I made them without interfacing, but they turned out too thin for my liking. So I'm gonna make them with interfacing from now on, but that also adds another 3 steps because I have to iron on the interfacing, fold it. It's just like, it's cut the interfacing, trim the interfacing. It literally adds 2-3 more steps, so it's definitely a lot longer. But I think the quality will be a lot better. I love this blue one, but they'll be a little bit more stiff, so they'll have more like shape to them, which is what I wanted because they are made out of just cotton, like 100% cotton fabric, so they are pretty thin. So adding a medium weight interfacing makes them a little bit more stiff, and I think that makes it feel a little bit like nicer and like it'll last longer. Okay, so I just finished stitching all of the wristlets that I had. I did all except for one because one of them was like super uneven the way I ironed it, and I don't think I'll like how it comes out, so I didn't want to waste the thread. But here are all the finished wristlets, and so now I'm going to go ahead and add the hardware. That's also not all of the wristlets I have. I still have this bin full of wristlets that need to be folded and ironed in the way that these are. So I fold these how they need to be folded into a 1-inch strap, and then they get stitched down the sides. But these have yet to be folded and ironed, so I have all of these to do in this basket. And then, so I have all of these wristlets that need to get done. There's probably like 20 there, I want to say. And then I have all of these bookmarks. I ordered some ribbon from Amazon because I don't have matching ribbon for some of these patterns, so I needed to order ribbon to stick out the top. Let me show you. So these are two of my bookmarks that I've made. As you can see, ribbon comes out of them, out of the top. This one is the plain blue on the back with a pink gingham, with a light blue gingham on the top ribbon. And this is a green floral. If that'll focus. So pretty. I'm literally obsessed with this one, and that has like a similar green ribbon. So I ordered some ribbon from Amazon that'll get here in a few hours. It's actually already out for delivery. So the office is kind of a mess right now, but I just finished cutting the lining, which is just a plain solid white, for the coin keychain wallets that I'm gonna make. So basically they have a little loop, a zipper, the outer fabric, the inner facing, which is ironed to the outer fabric, and the lining. So I have this pretty pink one, and then I have this green floral to go, one second, to go with these wristlets that I made. So I have like matching wristlets, and they will have these little like woven loops that you can slide on to the little keychain part, and you can have a little keychain wallet. So it's a little bit later. I just ate some dinner because it is 5:23 p.m. on a Sunday evening. It's actually Easter today. But I just finished sewing this zipper pouch and it has a matching wristlet. So I'm obsessed. It has a little loop. Can't see, hold on. And it has like a zipper, and the inside, most of my products just have like a white plain inner lining. But this is the best I've sewn a zipper, and I'm like really proud of myself. But that's what I did before I ate, and now I'm going to do a deep clean of my office because after the past few days it has become a mess. I just got back from Hobby Lobby, which I know I already did a fabric haul in this video, but I have another one. So I went to Hobby Lobby. I went with the intention of just buying plain white fabric, and I ended up not even buying that. So, but they were having 40% off, so I got just a few things that I am so excited to show you. So first off, I just bought myself a pin cushion. I don't really use pins, but when I do use them, they're such a pain, so I've been wanting one of these. I bought this 3/8 white ribbon because I needed some of that for my fabric bookmarks. I then bought more of this pink cowgirly fabric. These were $1.49 per fat quarter, so I got two. And as for actual fabric, I got 1 yard of this pink gingham. I got, I believe, 1.5 yards of this quilt patchwork fabric. I bought 2.5 yards of this, my multicolor floral fabric, because I'm out of this and I love it, so I wanted to get more. Then I got 1 yard of this pretty floral deep blue on white fabric. I got 1 yard of that, if I didn't say that. And then lastly, I got, I think, 1.5 yards of this yellow floral that I think is so pretty. So that is all the fabric that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was only like $25 for all of it, which is really good. I then also got 2 bolts, like when I was getting my fabric cut, 2 of the bolts like ran out. So I asked if I could have these. So I'm going to cut these up and start putting my fabric on them, because I like really need to organize my fabric, because like this is just not working. It's not efficient. So I need to figure that out. I also picked up my business cards from Staples today. I ordered them over the weekend, and I got 250 of them. I think it was like 30 bucks. I don't love their quality. I would prefer to use Vistaprint, but Vistaprint is kind of pricey. And I thought I was going to do a market sooner, so I thought like I needed them same day. So Vistaprint wasn't an option, but anyways, I ended up getting them. So they are in here. And I got 250, as I said. And this is what the front looks like. Just says Gracie. And then the back says shop hand sewn apparel and accessories. The lighting in here is kind of bad, so you can't really see it. And then it has my socials, my Etsy, and the QR code takes you to my direct website. But I needed those because I didn't have business cards yet. And for when online orders come in, obviously I need business cards. I'm also going to order pre-made thank you cards, like cute spring ones on Etsy. And I think I'm going to like get different ones for each season. So I'm going to look at Etsy and, you know, find some thank you cards that I like. Maybe ones that I can like write the buyer's name on it. And then today my cotton labels for my products are out for delivery, so I'm waiting for those to come in. And those, I don't know if I'm going to like them, but I will have 500 of them. So I'm going to see like if I like them, and then they will be going on my products if I do like them. So I am currently putting together the bookmarks. I got a pack of ribbon from Amazon, of like multicolored ribbon, because I only had a few. So I am putting them together. So I'm sandwiching the ribbon between the 2 fabric pieces. And I have all of this to do still. So let's get to it. I just finished clipping every single pattern, every single individual bookmark for every pattern that I have cut out for fabric bookmarks with the little bows, the little ribbon sticking out. So originally my bookmarks had this width of a ribbon, which was cute, but I was like, let me see if I can get smaller. So this is the smaller ribbon. This is what it looks like. And it's just like double-sided. But the ribbon is 3/8 instead of like 1/2 inch. I think this is 1/2 inch. So I think I'm gonna make them a little bit like shorter, but I mean, I don't know. I think it looks cute. So I got ribbon from Amazon, and I bought some white ribbon from Hobby Lobby. And I clipped every single pattern that I have. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8 different patterns. I probably have like 15 bookmarks here, maybe 20, because some of them I have like 5 of. So yeah, I clipped all of those, and now I'm going to take them to my sewing machine. I also have a ton of wristlets still to do. So I have wristlets in different parts of like different stages of the steps. So in this bin, I have my clipped wristlets that still need to be, they're already ironed, I think. Yeah, they're already ironed. They're already trimmed. They just need to be ironed, like folded into 1-inch strips and then stitched. And then add the hardware. So I still have like 3 more steps left. These ones in this crate are already stitched, as you can see. I think this one is so pretty. So yeah, these just need to like have the hardware added to them, but the hardware like kills my hands. So I had to take a break last night from doing it. My hands like right here from the pliers really hurt. So I'm probably going to work on bookmarks first, just because those are super like mindless and they take 2 seconds to like finish. Like it's literally like 2 stitches. It's like totally easy. So I'm gonna do some of the bookmarks and show you some of that. Okay, so it is currently Tuesday morning. It is about 9 a.m. and my brand labels came in yesterday and I kind of hate them. So, I ordered them off Etsy. There's nothing wrong with the quality or anything. It's just the decisions I made that I'm not happy with. But yeah, so it's not like the seller's fault, but I ordered 500 of them because 500 was like the minimum you could get. And it was only like 40 bucks. So it was like a really good deal. I was looking at Dutch Label Shop, I think it's called, which is what a lot of small businesses use. But for 500, it's like $84 and I can't like justify spending that much on just labels alone. So I did these and yeah, so this is what they look like. So it just says Gracie on it because my business name is Garments by Gracie. And I think they're too wide. Like, I think the height is too big to be, like, usable on anything. So I have a coin pouch, like, let me go grab a finished one. So this is the size of a zipper, a keychain wallet before, like, all the seam allowance and, like, the stitching. So this is, like, what it looks like before. So it's a little bit smaller when it's done. So this is how big it, like, this is how big it comes out when it's finished being stitched, because a lot of it you have to account for, like, the seam allowance and the zipper and all that stuff. So I just think it's too big. Like, I just think it's kind of obnoxious, but I've seen some people do bigger ones. So I think I'm just overthinking it. But basically, I would fold it inwards on the sides to avoid like fraying, like this. So it would look like this. It obviously would be like straight and it would be like perfectly centered, but that's like what it looks like on a pouch. And I'm worried that it's just too big. Like I'm nervous that it's gonna deter people from buying because the label is so big. But I got them in off-white, like a natural cream color, and I should have gotten them in white because I use white for everything. So I like really regret that part of it too. They sent a proof, and again, it was like I approved it. It's just like my error. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to make one keychain wallet with the label on and see how I feel. So I just finished sewing the keychain wallet with the label on it, and I really can't tell how I feel about it. So this is what they look like without, just plain. I did want to add my branding, but I just don't think I like it. Like, it's not white, so it doesn't match. And yeah, that's basically it. It's white and it doesn't match, and it's hard to center it, so like it's not centered. So I'm just like, I don't know, but now I have all these labels. I don't know what to do with them. It's been a few days since I started this video. It's been like a week at this point. So if this video is long, I do apologize, but I'm currently prepping a bunch of different products. As you can see, I moved things around my office to make them more efficient, and I'm currently prepping a ton of makeup bags. So the next portion of this video is going to be working on makeup bags. So this bin is currently full of products that have been prepped and need to be ironed and trimmed. I have these, all of these are makeup bags. There are some makeup bags in here. These bigger ones are makeup bags, and these ones in the front are wristlets. And then I have Kindle sleeves, book sleeves, more makeup bags, keychain wallets, wristlets, all that stuff on that table. The only thing that's not been prepped yet is scrunchies. And that's because I don't know how to make them yet. So we might tackle that in this video, but I'm not sure. I ran out of plain white fabric. Like, this is all I have left. And I use white for like all of my inner linings for my products, like book sleeves, laptop sleeves, makeup bags, all that stuff. Anything that has an inner lining, I use plain white. But I'm out, so I've been using like white on white designs, fabric. So I have like this like white flowers on this like white fabric. I had a dot fabric like this. And then I have one that has like roses, one that has like vines. So that's going to be the inner lining for some fabric because I have it and I'm not going to waste it. But I am going to go to the fabric store today to pick up more plain white cotton fabric. So I currently have 2 makeup bags prepped and made for this 2-day market that I have coming up May 3rd and 4th. So this is one of them. This is a size small, so she's a little bit, I'd say a little bit like as big as my hand actually. And I still need to sew the bottom of the inner lining, but as you can see, I just use plain white. I just need to stitch the opening in the lining. And the only difference I made from my first one to this one is this one has pull tabs on both sides, because I found like you can use it to pull it open, but then also use it to pull it closed. So that's that one. And then this is the other one I have. It's this really pretty like lilac lavender fabric, and this one only has 1 pull tab, as you can see, and that's when I was like, okay, I don't really like that it only has the one. So I'll be selling this one still, but this one's like completely finished. This is the same size as the other one I just showed you. This was my first one. Like, this wasn't the first one I've ever made. The first one I ever made I use as my clip holder. But this one is still pretty cute. So I have these 2 makeup bags that are ready, but I'm hoping to have at least 12.